Dear students, in this class we are going to discuss the boundary conditions for dielectric to dielectric interface. In the last class already we have seen what is medium, what is the boundary, what are the different types of boundaries, and what are the advantages of boundary conditions. The advantage is very simple. If you know the conditions on one side, you can estimate the conditions on other side without having much calculations. So what is the mean by boundary? Boundary means which is the discriminating layer between two different mediums. So already we have discussed about the conductor to free space boundary, and now in this class we are going to discuss the boundary conditions for dielectric to dielectric interface. So let us take the boundary, and this is the region 1, that means dielectric 1, and other one is region 2. This is nothing but the dielectric 2. So a medium is always characterized by three parameters, epsilon, mu and sigma. So as we are discussing about this electrostatic boundary conditions, let it be epsilon 1 and this is nothing but epsilon 2. These are the two dielectrics separated by this layer, which is nothing but the boundary. Now coming for this boundary conditions, we have to discuss about two things. One is electric field intensity and other one is flux density d bar. That too, if you take your E bar and you have to discuss about two things. One is tangential component and other one is normal component. Tangential components means, what does it mean? Tangential component means along the surface, along the boundary, it is called tangential. So if you take a surface here, a component which is along the surface is called tangential, which is at an angle of 90 degrees is called as normal. So exactly here, this is E tangential and other one is at an angle of 90, it is E normal. So the resultant is nothing but electric field intensity E bar. This is the electric field intensity E bar. Exactly, your D bar also will be in the same direction, because D bar is equal to epsilon times E bar. They differ in magnitude, but the direction is same. That's why I can say this is D tangential, and you can say this is D normal, and this one is nothing but D bar. This is nothing but the resultant of this. So once you know all these factors, then I would like to discuss about the tangential components first. What is the tangential components here? The component which is along the surface of the earth. For the tangential components, let us consider a rectangular box here. As usual, I told already in the last class, it is a rectangular box. Name it as A, B, C, D, A, B, C and D. Let the length of this rectangular one is delta W. This is nothing but the length. And the height of this one is delta H, which is very, very less, delta H. So this is in the medium 1, E tangential components E tan 1, and this is nothing but E tan 2. It is in the second medium. This is E tan 2. So once you take this rectangular section across the boundary, happily you can apply your Gauss law. That is, law of conservative field. What is that law of conservative field? The law of conservative field is nothing but closed line integral E dot dl is equal to 0. So what is the law of conservative field? Closed line integral E dot dl is equal to 0. This is nothing but the law of conservative field. So you have to close these lines, means you have to integrate from A to B, B to C, C to D and D to A. So you can split this integral A to B E dot dl plus integral B to C E dot dl plus integral C to D E dot dl plus integral d to a E dot dl is equal to 0. Now just you tell the result of this. What is E dot dl? E into dl into cos theta. It is from A to B. A to B. E is nothing but tangential component E tan 1. What is the length increment here? Delta W. What is the theta? Both are in the same direction. Theta is equal to 0. That means cos 0 is 1. So what is its value? Its value becomes E tan 1 into delta W plus, friends, from B to C, what is its value? From B to C, it is nothing but the height, that is your delta H. Delta H is almost equal to 0. That means boundary means whose thickness is almost negligible. Boundary means చాలా చిన్నటి పొరలా ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ ఇస్ జస్ట్ లైక్ వెంట్రుక వాసులాగా ఉంటుంది, నానోమీటర్స్లో ఉంటుంది. దట్స్ వై ఇట్ కెన్ బి నెగ్లెక్టెడ్. దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఇస్ 0. Plus from C to D, that means C to D. You are in the reverse direction, you are going like this. In this reverse direction, you are going this. As you are in the reverse direction, it is minus E tan 2 into delta W. So this will become minus E tan 2 into delta W plus, as usual, from D to A, it is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. So from this equation, happily you can write down E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2. This is nothing but the boundary condition, because E tan 1 into delta W minus E tan 2 into delta W is equal to 0 means you can cancel delta W here. So E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2. This is the first boundary condition for the dielectric to dielectric interface. What is the meaning of this? E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2 means what does it mean? Tangential component of E in the first medium is equal to tangential component of E in the second medium. So let us take once again, this is the boundary, okay. This is the tangential, this is the medium 1 and medium 2. Tangential component of E in the first medium, E tan 1. E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2. అంటే ఒక సైడ్ టాంజెన్షియల్ కాంపోనెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఈ ఎంత ఉంటుందో అదే వెనక వైపు కూడా ఉంటుంది, నెక్స్ట్ బౌండరీకి కూడా ఉంటుంది, నెక్స్ట్ రీజన్లో కూడా ఉంటుంది. సో ఈ tan 1 is equal to ఈ tan 2. దట్ మీన్స్ టెక్నికల్లీ ఐ కెన్ సే టాంజెన్షియల్ కాంపోనెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఈ ఈజ్ కంటిన్యూస్ అక్రాస్ ద బౌండరీ. ద మీనింగ్ ఈజ్ ఈ రీజియన్లో ఎంత ఉంటుందో ఈ రీజియన్లో కూడా అంతే ఉండడాన్ని కంటిన్యూస్ అక్రాస్ ద బౌండరీ అంటారు. అంటే దేర్ ఇస్ నో డిస్కంటిన్యూటీ అట్ ఆల్. So that's why you can write down here E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2 means tangential component of E bar. Tangential component of E bar is continuous. Continuous where? Across the boundary. So boundary కి పైన ఎంత ఉంటుందో, పై రీజియన్ ఎంత ఉంటుందో కింద రీజియన్లో కూడా అంతే ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ tangential component of E is continuous across the boundary. So that is E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2. Friends, once you know tangential component of E, happily you can write down tangential component of D also. So using the relation D bar is equal to epsilon times E bar, you are already having the relation. Then I can say E tan is equal to D tan by epsilon. That means you can say this can be written as D tan 1 by, this is D tan 1 by epsilon 1 is equal to D tan 2 by epsilon 2. This is the next boundary condition. Then what you have to summarize here? D tan 1 by D tan 2 is equal to D tan 2 by 10 by D tan 2 is equal to epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 2. This is the next boundary condition. But what does it mean? What does it mean? Tangential component of D is it continuous? Discontinuous. Discontinuous by how much amount? Epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. So for clarity I am writing here, this is D tan 1 divided by d tan 2 is equal to epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 2. So if you see these two things at a time, okay, sir, మీరు చూస్తే for the dielectric to dielectric interface, you can give a conclusion that tangential component of E is continuous, tangential component of D is discontinuous. Discontinuous by how much amount? Epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. So one is continuous component, other one is discontinuous component. So now in most of the problems, you have to use this condition for doing your problems. E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2. Very simple. Tangential components means along the surface of the boundary. For calculating this tangential components, what you have done? You have taken a rectangular section A, B, C, D. Then you have applied law of conservative field. Applying law of conservative field. Law of conservative field is closed line integral E dot dl is equal to 0. The line should be closed, means you have to apply from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. Then after calculating using this dot product, you got E tan 1 is equal to E tan 2, D tan 1 by D tan 2 is equal to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. This is about the tangential components. So what are these components? The very first discussion is tangential components. So this is about tangential components. Tangential components means components along the boundary. So if you take this tangential components and just you apply your rectangular section here and apply the law of conservative field, you are going to get the boundary conditions like this. Now once you understand these boundary conditions, it doesn't take much time to complete your normal components. So for calculating the normal components, what you have to do? You have to take a cylindrical section, that is nothing but your pill box. So I can say here, for calculating this, then what you have to do is, you take one cylindrical section here. This is called as pill box. This is a cylindrical box of the surface area delta S, and here it is dN1, normal component of the flux density, and this is normal component of the flux density in the second one. So the surface area is delta S. Now for calculating this normal components, and just like your tangential components, there is a small procedure. What is that procedure? Just after considering the cylindrical box, which is also called as, this is pill box, under pill box. This is pill box. Then you can apply your Gauss law for this entire pill box here. Now let us take for normal components. Normal components. Normal components means components at an angle of 90 degrees to the surface of the boundary. That is called normal components. Okay. For this normal components calculations, first one is consider pill box. Consider pill box. And the second one is apply Gauss law. Second one is apply Gauss law. Then if you take this cylindrical box, that means if you take the cylindrical box here, this is a cylindrical box as before. I am considering the cylindrical box across the boundary. I am applying the Gauss law here. What is that Gauss law? Gauss law means very simple. Closed surface integral d dot ds is equal to charge enclosed. This is d dot ds is equal to charge enclosed. Closed surface means integral top, okay, integral top d dot ds plus integral bottom d dot ds plus integral sides d dot ds is equal to 0, is equal to charge enclosed. What is the charge enclosed? The charge here is rho s, charge enclosed is rho s into delta s. This is equal to rho s into delta s. Okay. Now this is the cylindrical surface, and this is the top surface, and this is the bottom surface. This is the top surface, bottom surface, side surface. So I have split this integration into three things: integral top, integral bottom, integral sides. So integral top means the normal component is in this direction, dn1 is in this direction, and the surface is also in the same direction. So what is an angle? 0. So d into ds into 0, cos theta, cos 0, 1. So what is d here? dn1 into, then what is ds? This is delta s, plus bottom means in the opposite direction. It is actually leaving this boundary, it is approaching the boundary, minus. So minus dn2 into delta s, plus sides means, you see, dn1 is in this direction, surface is in this direction. The angle is ఇలా ఉంది, surface వచ్చేసి ఇలా ఉంది, angle 90 degrees, cos 90 is 0. I think you understood, cos 90 is 0. So that's why this is 0 is equal to rho s into delta s. Delta s I am cancelling on both sides, this is. Then what you have got here? You got it here, very simple. dn1 minus dn2, dn1 minus dn1 minus dn2 is equal to rho s. This is the condition, you got it. But remember friends, dn1 minus dn2 is equal to rho s. What is this rho s? dn1 minus dn2 is equal to rho s means charge at this boundary. This is the rho s. But the perfect dielectric materials, I have taken a boundary for the dielectric to dielectric. This is dielectric and this is also dielectric. So for dielectric to dielectric, there is a boundary, but there is no charge density for the ideal dielectric materials. That's why for ideal dielectric materials, for ideal dielectrics, rho s is equal to how much? 0. Therefore, I can say dn1 is equal to dn2. What does it mean? dn1 is equal to dn2 means normal component of the flux density is continuous. dn1 ఇక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడికి ఎంత చేరుకుంటుందో, ఎంత వస్తుందో అంతే బయటికి వచ్చేస్తుంది. దట్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ కంటిన్యూస్. దేర్ ఇస్ నో డ్రాప్ ఎట్ ఆల్. Charge density is equal to 0. Therefore, dn1 is equal to dn2 means I can say normal component of D is continuous. Just exactly like tangential component of E is continuous ఎలా చెప్పామో, normal component of D is continuous. Why I am stressing here? Because students try to understand these equations are very much essential to do the problems in all examinations. You have to remember E tan1 is equal to E tan2, and another one you have to remember dn1 is equal to dn2. Once normal component of D is given to you, in the place of dn1, can I write epsilon 1 into en1? Epsilon 1 into en1 is equal to epsilon 2 to en2, because D is equal to epsilon times E particular. Therefore, what is en1 by en2? en1 by en2 is equal to, I can say, epsilon 2 by epsilon 1. So this is the normal component of E. But what is your statement here? Normal component of E is discontinuous across the boundary. But whereas normal component of D is continuous across the boundary. మీరు జాగ్రత్తగా ఆలోచిస్తే, in this discussion there are two continuous components, there are two discontinuous components. Just for your clarity, I can write this here. This is next condition is dn1 is equal to dn2, and the second one is I can say en1 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 my En2 is equal to epsilon 2 by epsilon 1. This is. So if you take all these components here, these are the boundary conditions for dielectric to dielectric boundary. Here you see tangential component of E is continuous, normal component of T is continuous. ఈ రెండు కూడా continuous components. These are the two continuous components. And if you take these two, these are discontinuous components. So two components are continuous, two components are discontinuous. So this is about the boundary conditions, very simple, within single sentence I can say. For tangential components, consider rectangular box, apply law of conservative field. For the normal components, consider the pillbox, apply the Gauss law. And there are two continuous components, tangential component of E is continuous and normal component D is continuous. Whenever we do the problems in the next class, you require these boundary conditions. You have to remember this. And the discontinuous components are normal component of E, tangential component of D are the discontinuous components. So I think you understood these tangential normal components now, and this dn1 and dn2, here dn2 is actually straight away it is reaching this boundary and leaving here. Sometimes because of the medium properties they come at an angles also. It may not come in the straight way, it may do some angles also, it may come at an angle and it may leave at an angle also, depends on the properties of this. So that also we will cover it now. So I think you understood this, and now we are going to cover this entire discussion of this tangential and normal components whenever they are making an angle theta with the boundary. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the boundary conditions using the concept of dn1 is equal to dn2. But in this figure if you see it, this d1 and the d2 are approaching the surface with some angles. ఇక్కడ dn1 చూడండి, నార్మల్ నుంచి θ1 అనేటటువంటి యాంగిల్లో ఉంది. d2 ఈజ్ మేకింగ్ అన్ యాంగిల్ θ విత్ ది dn2 లైక్ దిస్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ దిస్ ఫిగర్, each and every vector is having two components. One is tangential components, another one is normal components. So just now we have discussed about the boundary conditions of the dielectric to dielectric boundary. What you have done is dn1 is equal to dn2, means normal component of D is continuous across the boundary. So if you take this boundary, this is the boundary dielectric to dielectric. The normal component of D is continuous means కింద నుంచి బౌండరీ దగ్గరికి ఎంతైతే వస్తుందో అంతే లీవ్ అవుతుంది. దిస్ ద మీడియం 1 అండ్ మీడియం 2. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎప్సిలాన్ 1 అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎప్సిలాన్ 2. సో dn1 is equal to dn2 or dn2 is equal to dn1. So using this relation, now I would like to solve this problem because d1 is making an angle θ1 with this normal and d2 is making an angle θ2 with this normal. Now considering now the tangential components and normal components, I can say what is the normal component from this figure. So you can say dn1 is equal to okay, d1 is making an angle θ1 with this, that means d1 into cos θ1, d1 into cos θ1. Okay, and what is dn2? dn2 means normal component of this. What is the normal component? Is making an angle θ2. So d2, so dn2 is equal to d2 cos θ2. This is nothing but the normal component in this second medium. So what is the dielectric to dielectric boundary condition? Already we get dn1 is equal to dn2. This is the boundary condition we got, and using this boundary condition I can say you can equate all these things. That means you can write it down. dn1 is equal to d1 cos θ1 is equal to, then dn2 is equal to and d2 cos θ2. This is the first equation I can say this is. And from the another boundary condition I can say tangential components. d tan 1 by d tan 2 is equal to epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 2. This is the boundary condition you already got. Tangential component of D. So friends, what is the tangential component of D? Tangential component of D is D1. Here it is making an angle theta 1. It is 90 minus theta 1, right? That means d tan 1 is equal to d1 sin theta 1. It is cos theta 1. This is cos theta 1. This is d1 cos theta 1. But whereas in this direction this is d1 sin theta 1. This is. So you can say the tangential components d tan 1 is equal to, you can say that d1 sin theta 1 divided by d2 sin theta 2. This is. So from this equation I can write down the cross multiplying these two, because we are going to get a very good result here. Then you can say d2 into epsilon 1 times d2 sin theta 2 is equal to epsilon 2 times d1 sin theta 1. This is the another equation that is very, very important here. So you can say this is normal components equation, it is the tangential components equation. So using these equations 1 and 2, just substitute this second equation and the first equation, and you are going to get this is d2. So after substituting, so you can say from 1 and 2, 1 and 2. After substituting one in another, you are going to get d2 is equal to d1 square root of cos square theta 1 plus epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 whole square into sin square theta 1. It is just like a mathematical jumbling. So if you take these two basic equations and if you substitute one in another, you are going to get the magnitude of d2 and e2 in the second medium. So these are the basic equations here. But whatever it may be, for doing your problems, what you have to do is, you have to know the tangential component of E is continuous and the normal component of D is continuous. So if you know these two things, even though they are making an angle theta with this normal, here it is theta 1 and theta 2, you are going to get the magnitude of d2 and e2 like this. So this is the way of writing normal components as well as tangential components. So tangential component of E is continuous. So here in this one, what you have written here, this is the tangential component of E indirectly. Epsilon times D means E. Epsilon 1 into D means E. So tangential component of E is continuous. Tangential component of D is continuous. So continuous components can be used for doing the problems in the case of dielectric to dielectric boundary conditions. So once you know this is, then you can say if epsilon 2 is greater than epsilon 1, then definitely if epsilon 1 is greater than epsilon 1, then definitely you can get theta 1 should be greater than theta 2. This is the conclusion given here. So very simple, my dear friends. Take a boundary and normal component is continuous. ఎంతైతే వస్తుందో అంత బయటికి వెళ్తుంది. వెళుతున్నప్పుడు ఈ నార్మల్ కాంపోనెంట్, then this is the normal component, and actual vector is d1 here and d2 here. It is making an angle theta 1 with this, it is theta 2 with this. So this entire vector can be split into two components, one is normal and other one is tangential. Write the tangential components, use the principle tangential component of E is continuous. Write the normal components, normal component of D is continuous, whatever the problem it may be. Happily, if the problem is given in terms of angles also, happily you can calculate all the parameters here. So with this, I hope you understood the concept of dielectric to dielectric boundary conditions. Once again, I can conclude like this. In the boundary conditions, tangential component of E and a normal component of D are continuous. That means there are two continuous components. Discontinuous components are tangential component of D and a normal component of E are discontinuous. Already these continuous and discontinuous components are given in your gate examination also as a single bit. So try to understand this, and definitely you can do any type of problems in the dielectric to dielectric boundary conditions. Whenever we discuss the problems on this concept, you should know how to write the boundary conditions. Very simple. You have to think about only two parameters. One is E bar, other one is D bar. E bar is having a tangential as well as normal, and D bar is also having a tangential and a normal. So the conclusion is, I can say tangential component of E is continuous and the normal component of D is continuous. The other two components are discontinuous. Okay, so that's the reason. Please remember all these boundary conditions. So in the next class, we are going to do the problems based on this dielectric to dielectric boundary conditions. Okay, I hope everybody understood. Thank you.